Hi everyone, my name is Promise Sodera Onu. I just spent over an hour and a half listening to the Honest Bunch podcast that invited Reno Mokri, who did not disappoint with his lies and propagandas and his gaslighting abilities. And I want to really appreciate Chukwudi Ezine and Tongo for maintaining decorum and steeze while this man was, to their face, insulting them in a professional setting whereby he was invited to make contributions. He left things he's supposed to have said and started insulting Chukwudi. Even at some point was trying to shut up that the phrase when he was asking the question of how many kilometers the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway has progressed. Now, knowing who this guy is, I've said it repeatedly in so many blogs. Nigerians should stop paying attention to Reno. P2B will always say, you don't read integrity in the university. You don't get integrity by qualifications or traveling or university degrees. And this is Reno who was saying how big he is on royalty, he's a loyalist. On the same interview, when you talk too much, you make a lot of mistakes. So in life, even the Bible says, guard your tongue. You don't talk too much. When you talk too much, you won't even process. You won't have the time to process the ones you've said. You are talking more and more, and people are taking all of that in. As I was watching that video, I was reading comments, and a lot of people said that they couldn't continue to watch the video, and that happened to me because he lost me on the very first, few minutes of even watching the thingy. But because I wanted to do a video, I have to listen to the whole thing, how painful it was I had to endure. But you claim you're a loyalist. You claim you gave job to Showumi, who I think is more articulate, more of a good social standing. You claim you gave him work, and I don't know where that is coming from. At some point, he was sounding so braggadocious as if he's a god, more like just because you had an appointment from a former president. And you said you packaged a two-time governor that was the board chairman of a bank in Nigeria that have accumulated so much wealth, a billionaire that have received the highest credit card you can in the UK, and also received an award from Her Majesty herself. Talking about Mr. P2B, you packaged P2B for Atiku as VP. It's the audacity for me. First of all, I want to understand what is the capacity of Reno. Is he a spokesperson for the APC right now? I don't really understand this whole media hype, going around, hiring people, doing stuff. You claim you are a loyalist, but you've jumped from Goodluck to Atiku to Tinubu, and then in your talk, you mentioned Pat Otomi also paid you. So who exactly are you loyal to? You did a video claiming, standing next to P2B and saying that this man is the best person for Nigeria as a president. And this same mouth of yours, in the same interview, you also claimed that you knew why supporting Atiku that Tinubu will win. And when you were asked by one of the anchors, why did you do that? Why did you still support Atiku? Why you knew in your heart of heart that Tinubu will win, which you communicated to somebody you brought out to swear in front of the camera, which I don't even understand why you did that anyway. You said you did it for Nigeria. So you are disloyal to your former bosses because of Nigeria. Sometimes some people feel like they are talking to idiots. Reno likes to gaslight, and he said this stupid thing about the Shekiri not conceding or losing or being defeated by the British colonies or colonizers. And he has made such a fallacious statement before where Mazi Obonnaya challenged him and said, leave Igbos out of your mouth. You don't know anything about history as it concerns the Igbos. That gentleman is now in America and is doing so well, gaining giant strides. He challenged Reno to an open debate. He ran away from it. Reno blocked me because when he sees people of intellect, he can't stand them. So he goes to shows because he's Daddy Freeze's friends and sounds so intelligent, and because he speaks grammar and claim he's gone. When intelligent, even when Showumi watches that video, and I think Honest Bunch should have right of reply for some of the names he mentioned, especially from the obedient camp. Maybe somebody should come there and debunk some of the lies. I'm going to try and, highlight a few that I can remember on top of my head. But you claimed the National Debt Office of Nigeria confirmed that Anambra is still owing money. Did Peter Obi told you that he paid every single debt, or that he paid off every contractor that have completed 100% of their work by the time he was leaving office? You also claimed that he did not save any money, that the money he saved was used to offset another debt. Now, a lot of people, including the Abia State governor that you quoted, Alex Soti, has also said that Mr. Peter Obi saved those monies in those three banks. He was an MD of one bank, Fidelity, but certainly not all the banks. So if you say there is conflict of interest, given, accepted, what of the other two banks? Were there conflict of interest in those ones? Why I'm saying this is that Nigerians don't understand what God has done for us, that in the midst of the wicked, demonic politicians that we have in Nigeria, we have a person like Peter Obi, that somebody I so much respect from time, in the person of Professor Pat Otomi, we willfully give him the ticket of Labour Party to fly on when he needed it. A man that has one thing, and one thing that sets him apart from others: integrity. And Reno, on the other hand, who is a political jobber, who has spoken for almost all the parties in Nigeria, who has spoken for almost all the presidential aspirants in Nigeria. So, if Nigerians believe this guy, that means I can come in the morning and tell you that Atiku is the best. I can come in the afternoon and tell you that Tinubu is the best. I can also come in the evening and tell you that Peter Obi is the best. And then tomorrow change my mind and say Showore is the best. And then claim I am doing it for the interest of Nigeria. I believe Nigerians should be able to see beyond what is in front of them and understand that this particular APC government have intentionally gained all the voices, all the political vocal voices in Nigeria to their side, including Mr. Showumi, including Daniel Bawa, including Kenneth Okonkwo, including the likes. And all these things are because of 2027. Everybody has a price, and Reno's own is not even too expensive. That man talked a whole lot of rubbish in that podcast. A whole lot of rubbish. A lot of nonsense, attacking the personality of the only man that has no case, whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, against a man that has FBI files, that has issues with Bodilon Bullion Van, and you claim that nobody in EFCC have gotten their sins forgiven, like Adasho Shimoro said. And very quickly, you've forgotten that both Akpabio, Wike, and so many other people, if allowed the rule of law, will be tried for corruption. So all of a sudden, APC and everybody that you've spoken against are now saints. You have zero integrity, Mr. Reno, And nobody should listen to you, not certainly Nigerian youths. You are the biggest part of the problem. You are the enabler. People like you that are used to respect for your brilliance and eloquence, people like FFK that used to speak so well, so many of you have shown no integrity, zero integrity, because you speak from two sides of your mouth. Now, you claim that Peter Obi did not question that Tinubu won the election, that he was just saying that Tinubu should be disqualified. Al Jazeera, an international news media, have a video on YouTube, which I'm going to post on my page, where Peter Obi said on video in front of media houses that he won the 2023 general presidential election, and he's going to prove it in court. He was dismissed in the PEPC's tribunal, and he was also dismissed in the appeal court because of the corruption that has riddled, that has caused senior advocates of Nigeria to throw away their wigs and say that they don't want to belong to this nonsense system. And now you are justifying such criminality? Peter Obi on video brought so much evidences from the words from the polling units that was not admitted in court. Even their witness, a star witness, an IT expert that can confirm that IRF portal was switched off intentionally by INEC, was not admitted. And you said that he was only asking for Mr. Tinubu to be disqualified and Shetima because he was running for two different seats. That's a lie. I put it to you that Reno is a chronic liar and will continue to bamboozle Nigerians and gaslight them, and he has no truth against the truth. There can only be one truth and one fact, and everybody knows it, including Yakubu Mahmood knows it. Yakubu Mahmood has admitted in front of camera that he intentionally allowed voting to start later in the day in some parts of the country, while voting started early hours of some part of the country. So intentionally, he disenfranchised people from carrying out their civic duty and their civic right of voting on the day of election. And that's enough to disqualify him. A lot of people have said it, that in a sane country, in saner crimes, somebody of Yakubu Mahmood should be in prison and should not be allowed to be heading a reputable, or should I say, supposed to be a reputable organization like INEC. You cannot look so far before you see, glaring in front of you, that Reno is a political jobber hunting for the next job role. It's a shame for us to see people that sound so intelligent have no integrity, have nothing of value that they hold on to speak so much rubbish on a podcast that is watched by Nigerians globally. So many lies he spoke against the person of Mr. Peter Obi. Mr. Peter Obi have said, other governors don't save money. He saved money, and how he's being criticized that he saved money in one of his banks, or his bank that he's a chairman in. Okay, fair enough. Let's say he saved money in his bank, which is conflict of interest. He resigned as chairman before he went into politics to be a governor of Anambra State. He wouldn't have the time to both be a politician and also be the chairman of the board. How on earth can somebody of Peter Obi's reputation be brought so low, and then somebody of Tinubu's reputation, somebody you called a drug lord, somebody you called a drug baron on record, somehow become a saint? Shame on you, Reno, and shame on you, APC. 54 trillion, almost 55 trillion has been budgeted. 200 trillion is missing in Minister of Petroleum headed by Tinubu. I just saw a news now, $7.2 billion missing, and they've arrested somebody who was in charge of Warri Refinery. All of these are happening under APC watch. Nigerians can believe whatever they like. Thank you.